What's up, guys? Scorpion Official here. I have 30 questions here that I'm going to go through about music and the future of creativity in general. So we're just going to jump right into it. First question right away says, how has AI already changed the way you personally create music or produce music? And I'll be the first one to tell you, I have been using AI to help formulate certain melodies. So, like, if you have lyrics, if a singer has lyrics and they want to figure out how should I sing this in a way that flows, you can make tiny pockets of melodies, but just having a place where you can gather more ideas so you can really hear how these different AI singers are doing it. I think it's very powerful. I think it's very cool, especially if you're trying to make pop music or you're trying to make music that is very catchy, you know? So, catchy music, that's what AI's really good for right now. The other way that I'm using it is by getting my own type of vocals. So, maybe I'll think of something, I'll sing it into a voice memo, and then I'll have the AI re-sing it, and it might change the melody up a little bit, might make it a little catchier. But then I'm also, able to use a female vocal that I didn't have to record in the studio. So I know there's going to be a lot of controversy over these topics that I cover. Um, I just want to kind of get out there and share with what I'm doing, and then also like help people figure out, what they should be doing with their music. And I don't think it's the end of the world for music. Like, if you love this stuff, if you love music, you're going to keep making music regardless, right? So, question number 2, what AI tools have you tried, and what surprised you most about their output? I think the only AI tool that I've tried is Suno and Automie. I was pretty surprised with like the output, like the quality of the output. Yeah, there was some hiccups in certain areas. It definitely messes up from time to time, but just overall, like, I've been surprised. Like, I would say 15-20% of the time, it's like super catchy. I find like a hook that is really memorable and just really stands out. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting to see that unfold. Next question is, do you believe AI can truly capture human emotion and authenticity in music, or will it always feel like an imitation? Look, I've already seen it. It's already happened. Like, AI can capture some form of human emotion. Like, there are AI songs that are making people feel something in their heart. And I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear, but that's just the truth. That's the reality of the situation. Where we are with AI right now, I think we're in its infant stages. Like, haven't even started yet. It is so early. And if you think that this AI is scary today, or it's, you know, super good, whether you think it's super bad or super good, you haven't seen anything yet. We haven't even talk about the peak. We're nowhere near the peak, but we're also like nowhere near anything. I mean, I don't even think it has begun just yet in terms of the quality. Like, it will get better. It will be 10 times better, 100 times better. It's going to blow a lot of people's mind here in the next, I keep saying 3 to 5 years, could be 5 to 10 years, but definitely in the next 2 years, we're going to see some crazy stuff happen. So can it capture human emotion? Yes, it can. And it's doing it constantly. So buckle up, get ready. Next question. In your view, is using AI to generate lyrics, melodies, or beats cheating, or is it just a new instrument in the creative toolkit? This is a really great question, because whether I think it's cheating or not doesn't matter. And whether the Hollywood executives think it's cheating, whether the record labels think it's cheating, doesn't matter. What matters and what has always mattered is, what do the fans think? What does the market think? What does the audience think? Because whatever the audience thinks, that's going to be the goalpost. That's going to be everyone's North Star. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the fans are the ones who are listening. The fans are the ones who are bringing money to these artists, to these bands and record labels. It's always been about the fans. And so if the majority of the fans are going to be rejecting AI music, well, then AI music might not see the success that, it could potentially have. It might not see a lot of success. But from what I'm seeing right now, AI music is not being rejected. And one of the main reasons is because people can't tell. They can't tell the difference between a real human and an AI singer. So that's one of the main reasons right now of why AI music seems to be succeeding right now. But do I think it's cheating? Do I think it's just another tool? Again, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. All that matters is what the fans want and what the audience is going to be looking for. So we'll have to wait and see the next 6 to 12 months to see what's really happening. Next question is, how do you feel about training AI models on existing artist catalogs without explicit permission? Is it ethical or necessary for progress? There's a lot of copyright laws that are going to have to be written into effect. There's a lot of things that are going to have to be created. Some type of rules, some guidelines, because this is uncharted territory. So we've never seen this happen before. This is like the first of its kind. And so should they be training AI models on existing artist catalogs? Probably not. They probably shouldn't be doing that. Are they going to do it anyways? Yeah. They kind of are. Especially when it is the mass, I don't know if you call them consumers, but the people who are generating AI music, they're going to find a way to sneak in other artists' tracks, and that model's just going to get trained on that. So, yeah, they're going to do it anyways. Do I think that AI models could have gotten so good without training on existing catalogs? No, I don't think so. I think the only reason it got good was because it trained on some of the most popular music in today's world. So, ethical? No, I don't think so. But has it already happened? Yeah. And it's kind of happened at a point where it's like, we can't really go back. So, whatever's happened has happened. There's no going back. Can they do things to protect artists in the future from not getting AI models trained after them? Maybe. But who's going to regulate that? Who's going to control all of that? Who's going to make sure? I think what a lot of people are misunderstanding right now is that AI is just going to get better and better and better to the point where it won't need to train on anything. So we're on our way there. Next question. If an AI perfectly mimics your vocal style or songwriting voice, who should own the rights to that generated output? That'll be the first question that I can say right off the bat. I have not done enough research and I don't have enough experience to come up with a good answer for that. So yeah, I don't know who should own the rights to that. That's gonna be a tricky thing that people are gonna fight out in court. We've already seen copyright stuff get fought in court all the time. Some of it has been really goofy, but some of it has been valid. And now that AI is here, we'll have to see what happens. Number 7 says, what role should disclosure play? Should artists be required to label tracks that used AI in any significant way? Yeah, I think Spotify and Apple Music should label AI tracks that are obviously AI. But then again, that comes to a fault. Like, I've seen social media platforms that have labeled things that are AI that are not actually AI. So they need to get their labels right. But it would be a nice to have to let the fans know, let the listeners know, even just for myself casually listening on Spotify. I would like to know, as opposed to, having to figure out. But I have figured out some of the ones that are AI, and it's kind of interesting. Number 8, how might AI generated music affect royalty streams and income for independent human musicians in the next few years? How might AI generated music affect royalty streams? Yeah, it's going to impact it heavily. There might even be, and this is really dystopian to say, like, this is really weird to talk about, there might even be AI programs that are not owned by anybody. They're just AI programs on their own who are earning royalties from AI generated music. Where does that money go? Does the AI get to make their own bank account? Do they get to purchase things on their own account? It's going to get really weird, guys. I think people are, again, just misunderstanding and underestimating what's about to happen. Number 9 says, could AI eventually create a hit song that tops charts without any human involvement, and would fans still care? I think this is already happening. We're already seeing fully generated music. There is human involvement still. There's a human who's generating it on the back end. Would the fans still care? Not sure. Because we're seeing fans just be like, it's whatever. I like the song. The song is a good song. And that's that. And that's kind of like where music has always been, right? Like, even if there was controversy around a certain artist, maybe something happened and they went to court, there were fans that still liked their music just because they liked their music. So at the end of the day, it came down to like the end product, the end result. Number 10 says, what's one way AI has genuinely enhanced your creative process rather than replace part of it? Yeah, it's enhanced with like my understanding of music theory, melodies, even song structure. You can make different fills, you can make different transitions, and I'm getting ideas just kind of based off of what I'm hearing in terms of AI generation. So yeah, it's helped me understand music a little bit deeper, for sure. Now, of course, the mixing and mastering process, that's kind of something separate on its own, that I have to do outside of it. One thing that I have heard from AI music is it's not mastered properly, and sometimes it's not mixed very well. So it just depends. Number 11 says, do you worry that AI will lead to more generic music, similar sounds, styles everywhere, or will it increase diversity? I think it'll do both. Number 1, a lot of the models are trained on the most popular music, top Billboard charting songs. But then again, it's also pushing boundaries, fusing genres together that haven't really been fused before in that certain way. So I think it's going to do both. It's going to make a lot of stuff sound very generic, and then a lot of stuff is going to be like super niche, like just random stuff that, you've never heard of before. And I think there's like little cutesy things that people are going to do, like I'm sure husbands are already making songs for their wives that are like very detailed, dads are making songs for their children that are very niche and very personalized. So, and then again, that just cut out a whole market entirely, because I remember seeing on Shark Tank, there was a company that you would pay to get a personalized song made for whatever the occasion. And now you can just do that with AI, and you can do it a lot better and tweak different results, and you don't have to pay as much. So yeah, I think it's going to do both. Number 12 says, how has the rise of AI deepfakes changed your trust in music you hear online? Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where it's like the deepfakes don't sound that good, at least not yet, but I think they will eventually. And then those artists are going to have to find ways to, protect themselves. Um, Not too sure like what's going to happen there. It's kind of tough. Number 13, in the creative industries beyond music, so we're talking film, visual art, and writing, where do you see the biggest positive impact from AI? In the creative industries beyond music, I mean, like other creative industries are also going to get hit in a negative way. Where's the positive impact? I guess easier screenwriting, I guess easier, visual art, and easier filmography, photography. Like, I know for me, I'm only good at a few things. Um, I'm kind of stuck in like the realm of music. If I want to do anything visual art wise, if I want to do anything like VFX wise, if I want to, do some movie style special effects, I couldn't do that really without the help of, templates or some form of generative AI. So I guess it helps people who are naturally creative be able to dip their, like, they can try different things. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see. Number 14 says, what's the most overhyped claim about AI's threat to human creativity you've encountered? The most overhyped claim that I hear right now, there is none. Because I think people are just grossly underestimating the power of AI. If anything, everyone's underhyping, the majority is underhyping AI because they're afraid of what it's going to do. And I get it. Like, that fear is valid. I feel it too. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? Being in the creative industry is not going to be as easy. It's going to make things a lot more challenging. So, yeah, I don't think there's any overhyped claims just yet. Like, it's going to get crazy. And I think it's better to just come to terms with that truth rather than fight it. I really don't want people to be blindsided. Number 15, if you could co-write a song with AI right now, what prompt would you give it and why? Not too sure. I think usually when I prompt things, I'm kind of just shooting in the dark and seeing what comes out. Number 16, how important is the human story behind a piece of music to you as a listener or a creator? I think the human story is pretty cool. Have we seen AI been able to mimic human stories? Yeah, 100%. I just like music that's like super relatable and has like some deep meanings. I'm really about the lyrics. I'm a lyric guy, story guy. I'm a songwriting guy. Like, I really do love that kind of stuff. Number 17, should music schools teach AI tools as part of core production songwriting curriculum? Maybe. Like, I don't know. I'm advocating, I'm encouraging creatives right now to get familiar with the tools. So yeah, I think they should. I think you should be getting familiar with AI tools right now because they're only going to get more complex. They're only going to get stronger. And I think there's going to be a competitive disadvantage to people who are not using AI altogether. It's like, again, I know it's controversial. A lot of people are going to disagree with what I'm saying, but like, that's just from what I'm seeing. Like, that's just how I feel in my gut. There's just nothing stopping this train. And so if you're not on board, like, you're going to get left behind. Number 19 says, how might, oh, whoa, we got to go back. Yeah, number 18. What ethical guidelines would you propose for AI companies that build music generation models? Yeah, I don't know what ethical guidelines. Like, again, who's going to police that? Who's going to enforce it? Um, there's just so much up in the air. It's like the Wild West right now. This is uncharted territory. A lot of people are not understanding. Like, we've never had to deal with this before. So, by the time they come out with ethical guidelines, I think it's going to be too late. And I'll compare it to, like, pollution guidelines. The ocean is very polluted. How did it get that way? It's because the guidelines came out too late. And they're probably still not being enforced as heavily as they should be all throughout the world. So, yeah, who's going to police that? And when is that going to take into effect? Because things are already happening and, it'll probably be too late by the time that happens. Number 19 says, how might AI change live performances? Virtual AI artists on stage, real-time AI backing tracks, etc. Yeah, it's already happening. It's already here. Like, sorry to burst your bubble, but there are AI artists that are already selling out venues. So, what? Like, it's gonna change everything. And yes, AI will change live performances. There is a good caveat, there is a good pro to that. Because there's gonna be a lot of AI artists taking the stage, that should elevate the status of the human artist. Like, I think human only art, a guy with a guitar, a guy with a pair of bongos, like, that's gonna be cool. Somebody singing a cappella. So, I guess that's a pro. Number 20 says, do you think fans will develop AI fatigue similar to how some feel about overly polished auto-tuned music? No, I don't think so. Because there's going to be pockets of fans who you might like this AI band. Like, you may fall in love with them. And they might not be that popular. They might not be well known. But you love how they sound, and it's going to sound so raw and natural and real. It might even sound like a band straight out of the Congo, like out of the jungle. And it'll sound nothing like AI, even though it is. And yeah, I don't think AI fatigue will happen. Maybe people will get tired of hearing like the same regurgitated stuff all the time. That could be true. So anyways, I think that's up for the tastemakers to decide and up for the fans. 21 says, what's one fear you have about AI in the creative world that keeps you up at night? Nothing's really keeping me up at night. I think it's not really a fear, but I would call it like, I don't know, an unknown, which is, what are the creatives going to do? Like, what are we going to do in this AI world? And how are we going to, like, make a living, So, yeah, it's tough. What's number 22? Says, conversely, what's one exciting possibility AI opens up for underrepresented or beginner creators? Yeah, I think this actually is a topic that's not talked about enough. There is the possibility of going viral, taking market share, building an audience, gaining a lot of fans if you're a beginner creator or if you're underrepresented. And I think AI can help you get there. Yeah, that's just where I'm at. All right, next one says, how do you balance using AI for efficiency, like quick demo, sound design, while preserving your unique artistic voice? I think it's just by using little tidbits, little things that you think is interesting, and then still giving your own spin, your own flavor on things. So you can take elements and ideas and still resample and turn things into your own. Um, I think that's pretty interesting. Number 24 says, in 5 to 10 years, do you predict most chart-topping music will be fully AI generated, hybrid, or still primarily human? I think in the next 5 to 10 years, most chart-topping music will have some form of AI in it, whether that be the piano, the melodies, whether that be the flute or the singer. But yeah, I think it'll have some form of that in there. Number 25, how has the conversation around AI and music affected your motivation to keep creating? I think I'm actually more motivated now than ever. So it doesn't really put a damper in anything that I'm doing. I think I'm just as excited, if not more excited, than when I first started doing music. Number 26, should there be a human-made only category or certification for music, similar to organic food labels? Yeah, that'd be interesting. But how can people make sure that, the music totally is organic and human-made only? I wonder if some AI elements will sneak into there. So, but yeah, that'd be interesting. Number 27, what's the biggest misunderstanding non-creatives have about how AI actually works in artistic workflows? I don't know what non-creatives think about AI workflow. As a matter of fact, I believe that they don't even really care. They're like, whatever. Because if you're not a creative, then you're an end consumer. And so normally you're not really worried about how the sausage is being made. You kind of just see the end product and take that as face value. Number 28, if AI masters emotional nuance as well, maybe even better than humans, does that diminish the value of human-created art? That's a tough one. If AI masters emotional nuance, I mean, AI might be better at emotions than we are. Like, as emotional creatures as we are as humans, for whatever reason, like the most weirdest thing has happened in the past 20 to 30 years. I think humans are super out of touch with their emotions, meaning they don't have their emotions under control. They let things get the best of them. They let their feelings override everything else. And I think that's kind of dangerous, So if AI masters emotional nuance as well as humans or better than humans, I think it'll master it as good as we have it. Because our grasp is not that good on it to begin with. And then, will it be better? Will AI know more about emotion and how to use it better than humans? Potentially. It's a very big possibility of that happening. Again, people are they're underrepresenting, they're misunderstanding, they're underestimating what's going to happen. So, the clues are there, you just have to put the pieces together. Number 29, how can the creative industry protect cultural heritage and diverse voices from being diluted by AI trained mostly on Western mainstream data? That's a big question. How can the creative industry protect cultural heritage and diverse voices? I don't think you can. I really don't think you can. AI is going to seep into every little nook and cranny that it can possibly get into. And even though it's being trained mostly on Western mainstream data, it will get trained on others as well. And it will be able to replicate some tribe music in the jungle. It's just where we're headed. Last and final question. Ultimately, what do you want the relationship between human artists and AI to look like in the future? A tool, collaborator, competitor, or something else? Since it's not going away, I would love to see a new renaissance of art in all forms of art, because I'm not just a music lover. Like, I love art. So I would love to see it as one of the greatest collaborations of all time. Human, AI comes together to create some of the best works that we've ever seen. And let me take this moment really quickly to even talk about why we create art in the first place. You know, art is for expression. Art is sometimes a voice to be heard. Art can be an outlet to, something that we can pour our heart and soul into. For some of us, it's a means to an end. Like, some people are just in it just to make money. I don't think they'll go very far. But for the true creatives, we enjoy making art because it is our great passion, our great joy. It's what we love to do. And so I don't think that AI will stop anybody from putting their heart and soul into a piece of work. You know, we create art to capture an essence, an emotion, to maybe create a world. And it's for us to enjoy. You know, you go to an art exhibit, you look at paintings, you buy a painting, you bring it home, you put it on the wall because you love looking at it. We make music because we love listening to it. Makes us feel good, makes us feel better, makes us feel a certain way. So, yeah, that's my hope. That's my hope, is for the biggest collaboration to happen in the history of mankind. And I'm very optimistic going into this journey. Yeah, things are going to change a lot, but that's the way it's always been. Things have always changed throughout history. So, why would it stop changing now? Anyways, I hope that you gained some kind of insight from me, from my perspective on things. This is really how I'm thinking about things right now. And I'm not sad. I'm not even angry. I am hopeful and optimistic that, things will get better. But, well, it's not even like they're bad right now. I'm talking as if they're bad. Things are not even bad right now. I think people are overreacting out of fear. I think people are scared. Fear and insecurity, because they're thinking in their head, like, if an AI can create better art than I can, well, then what's the point of me creating art? And that's the thing. I don't think AI can make something that you would make, because you're you. And being you is unique. The only way that being you doesn't become unique is when you have an AI that is hyper focused on everything you do and just copies and imitates and literally takes everything that you've done. And so if I went into the room and I created this random abstract art with my paintbrush, I don't think AI can make the same thing that I would make because it's uniquely mine, you know? If I was to, uh, drink a bottle of paint and then spit it out on a canvas, I don't think AI could do that same exact spit take that I did. Could it imitate it? Could it make something similar? Sure. But it won't be that one, because that one's uniquely me. So, I hope there's some inspiration for anybody who's feeling like these are the worst of times and, they feel like they can't be an artist anymore. AI is not stopping you from being the best artist you can be. So, I wish you guys the best. Thanks for hanging with me. Till next time.